Good morning, friends. Today's Tuesday, and we're in autumn right now, about the second week of autumn, approximately. And today we're going to learn a little bit about pumpkins, one of my favorite fall foods. You could do a lot with pumpkins. Let's see, you could carve them as a jack-o'-lantern. You could make delicious foods out of them. You can make ice cream out of them. I like pumpkin ice cream, pumpkin cookies, pumpkin muffins, pumpkin stew. You could even make a boat out of a giant pumpkin. Check that out. That's pretty cool. So hard to believe that big boat comes from this little tiny seed right here. So that pumpkin boat was once a seed like this. So as you all know, you need to plant the seeds in the ground, and you plant them in dirt, and you give them water, and you give them love, and sunlight will help them grow. So we're going to talk about the life cycle of the pumpkin. But before we start that, we're going to read this wonderful, informative article called Grow Your Boat. Okay? So here's a young lady, and she's paddling a pumpkin boat. That's pretty crazy, huh? So grow your boat. Every year, some towns have boat races, but the boats are a little strange. Can you tell what they're made of? Here's a hint. It's something that we pick in autumn. So there it is. Let's open up and find out how to grow a pumpkin boat. Okay. So let's take a look at that cool picture there. Looks like some people having a little race in their pumpkin boats. So how to grow a pumpkin boat. If you want a pumpkin boat, you need to grow a giant pumpkin first. And it takes a lot of work. So to grow one of those giant pumpkins from this little seed, you're going to have to do a lot of work. Whoops. So it's going to be a lot of work to grow a giant pumpkin from that seed right there. Okay. So how to grow a pumpkin boat. If you want a pumpkin boat, you need to grow a giant pumpkin first. It takes a lot of work. So you start with a little seed, like I showed you guys, okay? And you're not going to use these seeds because these are processed, okay, and salted. You're going to actually need to get a seed from an actual pumpkin, okay? So a giant pumpkin grows from a seed. Not just any pumpkin will grow a giant pumpkin. Not just any seed, rather, will grow a giant pumpkin. You must plant a seed that comes from the giant pumpkin. These seeds are very expensive. One seed can cost as much as $1,600. So that's pretty expensive for one little seed, isn't it? So that could be very expensive if it came from a giant pumpkin. Okay, so you're going to have to start with a special seed. Next, you're going to have to add water. You'll need water to water your pumpkin seed. A giant pumpkin needs a lot of water. Farmers give giant pumpkin plants 3 whole barrels of water a day. So that's not just a glass of water. That's 3 whole barrels, folks, that we're talking about. So that's a lot of water. So the pumpkin needs a lot of water to grow big. It requires extra care. Your giant pumpkin shouldn't be too hot or cold. You'll need to give it extra care. So there'll need to be a few things that you need to do to keep your giant pumpkin growing healthy. You'll need to give your pumpkin shade from the sun during the day. If it gets too hot, boom, it might blow up. You'll also need to keep it from getting too cold at night. So you're going to want to cover your pumpkin with a blanket. Sweet dreams, giant pumpkin. So you're going to have to take special care of your giant pumpkin if you want to make a giant pumpkin boat. And then you're going to have to carve the pumpkin. Now, when you carve a pumpkin, you're not making a jack-o'-lantern. You're going to actually hollow it out, and you're going to make it so you could sit inside. Now, Mr. Tim would need an extra big pumpkin because I'm a big guy. So a few months after you've done it, your work is done. Your pumpkin is all grown. If you're lucky, it will be big enough to be a boat. Now it's time to carve the pumpkin. It won't take too long because giant pumpkins are mostly hollow. Hollow means that they're empty on the inside. So look at that bad boy right there. That's a nice sized pumpkin. So you're going to carve the pumpkin. So you're going to scoop out all the slimy guts of the pumpkin, but don't throw it all away. You're going to want to save the seeds. And this is what the seeds look like. This is their shell. Okay, that's the shell. And here's what's inside the shell. That's the tasty part that we like to eat. So you're going to scoop the slimy guts out of the pumpkin, which is a lot of fun if you've ever done that. And don't throw it out. You're going to want to save the seeds so you can grow another giant pumpkin. You might be able to make some money too, because those pumpkin seeds are pretty expensive. Finally, you're going to want to paddle your boat. Okay, it's finally time to race. Put on a fun costume. Climb into your pumpkin boat. Don't tip over into the water. So you're going to want to wear a life jacket if you got a pumpkin boat, because I don't think they're as stable as a regular boat. So don't tip over into the water, because the water's kind of cold in the fall too. Then get ready, set, and paddle. Okay, and you're going to need a special paddle. What you see here is a kayak paddle. It's got a paddle on both ends, and this is so one person can use it. So there they are, paddling away in their fancy pumpkin boats. So it's a race. You might not win your first pumpkin race, but you already did something incredible. You grew a giant pumpkin. Okay, so there's the giant pumpkin right there. So there's the giant pumpkin. And this is what we sometimes will trace pumpkins like this. And pumpkins are usually orange. Sometimes they're green when they start out. So we're going to find out about the life cycle of the pumpkin. Okay. And what we have here is the pumpkin life cycle. And it starts, as you know, from a seed. A little tiny seed. Okay. So the seed grows. Okay. So there it is right there. A sprout grows from a seed. So from this little seed, the plant will start to grow. And that's what it looks like right there at the top. Number 2, okay, the sprout grows into a vine. The vine has yellow blossoms. So check out that pretty cool blossom right there. Another name for a blossom is a flower, right? So there we have that. And then next up, number 3, the blossom dies. A small green pumpkin grows from it. Okay, so there's the little tiny green pumpkin right there. That doesn't look like a boat yet, does it? Not yet. And then 4, there it is, the orange pumpkin. The pumpkin grows, it turns orange, and it's ready to pick. Now this one right here does not look like it would be a good pumpkin boat. It'd probably be a better pie pumpkin or a jack-o'-lantern. So let's answer a few of these questions and see if you guys are paying attention. So first question, what does the sprout grow out of? Does it grow out of a vine, a blossom, or a seed? Okay, think about your answer. Lock it in, and I'll tell you the answer. It's a seed. So the answer for that one is seed. Question 2, where are the yellow blossoms? On the sprout, on the seed, or on the vine? Okay, so that's the second question. On the sprout, on the seed, or on the vine? Okay, lock your answer in. Okay, and the answer is on a vine, okay? So that's where it starts to grow, on a vine. Question 3, what do you think is another word for blossom? I told you this earlier, if you were paying attention. Is it pumpkin, blossom, or a leaf? What does that look like? Right there. Okay, lock in your answer. The answer is a flower. Next up, what color is the pumpkin first? Is it orange, brown, or green? Think about it. Look at the top. The answer is green. First, it starts as a green little pumpkin. Last little question here is, what happens before a sprout grows into a vine? Well, it has to go in the dirt, and it has to get water and some sunlight. So that was your bonus question. Now, I want you guys to think about your favorite things to do with pumpkins. And if you have an adult, maybe they could help you carve a pumpkin or maybe even make your own pumpkin pie. Until next time, thank you. And guys, have a good day. Thanks.